everybody, how's it going? It's Stormedegree 14 here. Welcome back to another reaction video. Today we're going to be reacting to Nostalgia Critic's newer video, the Warner Bros. Kids channel by Nostalgia Critic. Now, I remember watching the Warner Bros. Kids channel. I think it was like a little kid though. I mean, the last thing I do remember watching, like, I believe, if I'm right, it's the Animaniacs. They were on there. I did watch Scooby-Doo as a kid as well as Looney Tunes. And I think, forgive me if I'm wrong on this, but to the vaults of my memory, I believe they also showed Pokémon at one point, but I don't know. But overall, I'm curious to see what Nostalgia is going to talk about in the channel and see what he, let us relive some memories of our past. So, that being said, let's get on with the reaction in 3, 2, 1. It's good to be back in the Nostalgia Critic video. Why skip this? It has so much production value in it. Tamara. Wake up! It's Saturday morning. I think. Get up. Oh, she got a Togepi plushie. Oh, that's adorable. There's not even any tooth. Yeah. Relatable. I've done that once, I think.
Did we really used to get up this early just for cartoons?
It's not just cartoons, it's kids WB.
Don't you
Yeah.
have Vortex?
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Hey, where the hell is Critic? Isn't he supposed to be kicking this thing off?
Nah, let's just start without him.
Wait, Doug's not here? Oh. What?
Hey, everybody!
What?
Is that Critic on the
Duh.
TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you all? It's a constant party here at Kids WB.
Critic, how long have you been in there?
Hours, days, maybe weeks. I don't know. I've lost track of time because there's always a party here.
What?
You've just been partying nonstop?
Doug, are you okay?
WB life. Yeah, everyone's always jumping, screaming, throwing confetti. Thank God no productions are being filmed at this studio because they wouldn't be able to record shit over all the noise. So you're telling us that you've been partying this entire time and it's had no effect on you? Kill me. What?
Kids WB all the way, man!
Dang.
Before every studio tried to have a streaming platform, many tried to get their own TV channel. And in 1995, Warner Brothers launched theirs.
Right.
Not always giving the highest of television quality,
Oh.
depending on your definition of highest. WB did have a few hit shows that are still talked about today, as
Yeah.
well as one of the world's most annoying mascots.
Yeah. Hello, that frog.
I guess Bugs Bunny was too associated with children to be the mascot, so they went with the Looney Tune that many considered most adult at the time. Michigan J. Frog.
And that was
from
the
One
singing
Frog
frog?
Movie.
That is a very weird choice for a mascot, I have to be honest.
Not only did his literal song and dance routine get old quick, but he weirdly sung about depressing stuff. You
Like
ever
what?
actually listen to what he sings? I swear I'm not making this up.
Hello, my baby, you're in the red, you're wanted by the IRS. Your love
What?
life is in a rut. Enjoy what you got, it is in a lot, it's certainly not money.
What the hell?
Just pay the electricity.
Is this a cry for help, Michigan? You gonna throw yourself at Doc Hopper soon? I think The Simpsons summed up this character best.
I need a drink.
But
Yeah.
at the same time as their adult programming was their children's programming. Kids WB ran on the WB network from 1995 to 2000.
Yeah, there it is.
They
Wacko
showed
Warner.
most of their frog mascot because, well, only adults should be that annoyed and depressed. And instead had stars for their usual programming, both animated and live action, introduce the lineup. Not gonna lie, it is a little funny seeing a future Oscar winner hype you up for cartoon animals.
If you enjoyed those commercials, then you'll really
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
right.
Classic Daffy Show.
Let's be honest, WB was the parents' house for the cast of In Living Color to get back on their feet.
Right.
In some respects, Kids WB left an even bigger impact than their adult shows because it combined what worked on other networks like Fox Kids
Yeah.
and combined it with some new styles and ideas, both from America and from Japan. Introducing a
Yeah,
lot of
so,
kids to
so
their
I was right, they
first
did have
animes.
Pokemon.
Hey, what do you got there, a rabbit?
It's a Pokemon.
Yeah, Pikachu's a mouse.
There's a ton of shows we grew up with and are ready to talk about, so let's get cracking. Because here, the party never stops!
Critic, Are you sure you're okay?
Jesus, get me out of here! Nobody should party this much while just randomly turning to the camera announcing the schedule!
Well, how do we get them out?
I got an idea. Critic, read the text message that I'm sending you.
What?
Coming up next, me on the couch.
Ah! It worked!
Damn, I sent you an email about
That was pretty clever!
God damn it, no, I gotta change it. Go, say the thing.
This is Kids WB!
WB!
You're a bit.
You can call me Ed, and you can call this Kids WWWB.
Matthew Lawrence here to tell you you're watching Kids WWWB.
WWWB.
It's great having you here.
Reno, da-da! And this is Kids WWWB.
Why are there always 3 W's?
What does the WB stand for? We're back.
He's been compared to Elvis Costello.
Come on.
He has a far more
Yeah, I get it. It's really poorly green screened.
The fact that he's a big-time movie star go to his head.
What the hell is even that?
Yeah, the poor green screening.
Be able to talk about all the shows.
Just the ones we grew up with.
Or the ones that left the biggest impact.
So let's not waste any time.
I'm literally saying this just to waste time.
Let's go over the shows that we've discussed before.
Good writing there.
Okay, so I've talked to death about what I guess you could call the Spielberg-Ruger collection.
Yeah,
Sometimes Win
Freakazoid, the
Tom Ruger and
Animaniacs,
others who
Pinky
worked
and the
on shows.
Brain.
So I'm gonna do a bit of a lightning round here. Animaniacs, for the most part, was the same here as it was on Fox Kids.
Right.
There was a feeling it could go a little further. A lot of kids programming had to work in something educational, hence why you saw so many PSAs back in the day.
Right.
Maniacs was the same and worked with it beautifully, teaching information with brilliant songs, but when they didn't have an amazing songwriter from time to time, they
Right.
did have to sneak in an obvious moral, despite them making fun of obvious morals with the wheel morality.
Yeah.
WB seemed more relaxed with all that, allowing them to push back at forced messages, which honestly can be kind of refreshing by today's standards. I like the recent reboot fine, but their hammered in messages clearly wanting to save the world does comically clash with the writing on Kids WB.
Why can't our elected leaders just pass laws to strengthen pollution regulations, promote renewable energy, and hold fossil fuel companies accountable?
Let's take the car. We'll have to stop and fill it up, though. That pig sucks gas like it's water. There's plenty more we can be doing to reverse climate change, like wasting less food and water and switching to energy-efficient appliances.
Yes. Sadly, that is what happened.
Christmas tree and put it in my house to decorate.
We've actually been significantly less naughty ever since the mysterious disappearance of Hello Nurse and Minerva May.
Okay, that's a fairly good one.
Like to see how we do it?
Good night, everybody.
I think because they were officially on the Warner Brothers network, they may have been encouraged to make fun of Disney a little bit more, as I swear more parodies popped up.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Animaniacs was and still is a staple of quality.
It is.
Their side characters, Pinky and the Brain, got their own series that ran for 3 years.
Yeah.
A damn decent run for an animated spin-off.
They still got the
classic
reboot
Mouse
as
and
well.
Mouse Duo proved to have a lot of possibilities and introduced new plans to take over the world, as well as new characters to foil them.
Right.
They were eventually given a
They even
nice
did that in
spin-off,
the
Pinky
modern
and
one.
Elmira and the Brain, which, I'll be honest, isn't as bad as it sounds. It's not great, but it's better than it has any right to be. I did an episode on that too if you want to check it out. Freakazoid was the first new Spielberg
Right,
show
this
to
is the
premiere
one
on
I
Kids WB,
ended up never
and
watching, and I'm
argue
sorry,
was the
guys.
beginning of troll humor in children's cartoons. It leaned much more towards the writers just writing whatever odd jokes were on their mind and not really caring if it tied into the story or if it even had a story. The humor felt a lot more experimental, sometimes working
Just to be
with
generally
facts,
weird?
and
I
sometimes
see.
changing with time. There's jokes that I didn't think were that funny when I first saw them, but humor evolves over the years, and when I look back, some of them actually are a little better. Again, if you want more detail, you can watch a video I did on it with the people who actually made it. Needless
Okay.
to say, I definitely recommend all these shows.
But what about the shows that
Just
Tom
like-
Ruger worked
just
on
him
that
under a
didn't
costume
have
of himself?
Spielberg's name above the title?
Oh, I see. Like when Spielberg erased the guns from E.T., he erased his name on the top of some of these shows.
No, I mean like Road Rovers.
That's not a show.
Stop saying words.
Oh, it's all too real, my friend.
Road Rovers. What's this show?
Road Rovers was very
Oh.
different. And undoubtedly
Oh,
very
boy.
many.
People are gonna have some sick fun with this. Sorry. Not on my book.
Don't listen to him, my darlings. He knows not what he says.
Come
the
on,
series follows
dude.
the adventures of a team of 5 superpowered anthropomorphic dogs known as Kano Sapiens. It was the
Kano
next in line of a
Sapiens?
wide
Are you
array of
serious?
clones ready to cash in on the popularity of anthropomorphic crime-fighting superheroes.
Hey, Ninja Turtles ripped Street Sharks off, okay?
No, Walter. No.
But they did.
We are not having this conversation again, Walter.
You might not.
But it's awesome.
Except it's the 90s, so the cash-in is extreme.
Holy crap.
It was fine for what it was, with hijinks and action distracting enough for a then 6-year-old like myself.
The name is Mr. Puffy Lips, but you can call me an ambulance.
Featuring the talents of Michael Richardson, another one of my inspirations, along with Jim Cummings, Tress MacNeille, Frank Welker, Jess Harnell, and many others, this show had quite an entertaining cast.
The Silence of the
jokes
Lamb
and
thing?
plot had enough charm to complement the camp of its premise. The humor is very dad-based and works well for the bouncy energy one would expect from a pack of dogs.
I guess.
Who's the babe?
She's not a babe, okay? So back off.
Ooh, Tachi, Mr. Tachi.
It was insanely short-lived, only spawning 13 episodes.
Only
coming to an abrupt
well, I
end
can
due
see
to
why.
events surrounding a lawsuit
No
over
offense
its
to it, but
idea.
no, actually all offense to it.
Stop suing people.
Stunt dogs.
Nah, do you know what that is?
Coming to an undisclosed conclusion, the future of the franchise remains a mystery. For what it was, though, it was a fun little adventure that's grown a little bit of a following. If it ever came back in the
I
future,
wonder why.
I'd definitely check it out to see what they've been up to.
Wait a minute. So there's regular dogs too, and I don't like that it looks at me. So hold on. Yeah, exactly. So there's regular dogs in the show, and then anthropomorphic dogs like that are descendants. I don't like that. I really don't like that.
Okay, but how about some superheroes that wear capes and aren't dogs?
You anti-Canaanites!
Oh, whoa! Camera, calm down. Yeah, I remember Crypto.
Superman the Animated Series expanded the
And
DC
Superman.
animated universe by
Ugh.
being the first additional show to take place in the same world as Batman the Animated Series. It was also the first time Supes got his own animated program since the self-titled cartoon from 1988.
I
And
see.
How was that show? It
Thanks for
What?
impersonating me, Dad.
exists.
What the hell?
Superman was significant for many reasons, including the introduction of non-Superman exclusive heroes and villains from the comics, like The Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Lobo, Darkseid, and many more. This laid the foundation for what Justice League and Justice League Unlimited became in the
Darkseid.
mid-2000s. Well-known actors like Malcolm McDowell, Gilbert Gottfried, Ed Asner, Lori Petty, and Michael Ironside all popped up to fill many of these supplementary roles across its 54-episode run. The Man of Steel was powered down for most of this show, making him more vulnerable to attacks from his enemies. He wasn't
Well,
able
yeah,
to simply
'cause he
solve
kinda
the problem
cheats at
by
everything.
improving an entire planet, much less an entire city. I really appreciated that, and I think a lot of the bigger stories were better because of it.
But could he spin the Earth backwards, yet not be fast enough to catch 2 missiles?
Or kiss someone, erasing their memory.
Or not be anti-Canaanites? What's that?
Where are you getting those? Hey, where'd Chaplin go? Tim Daly's Superman/Clark Kent balanced his more human, genuine side with the classic truth and justice pomp and circumstance without
Okay.
going too cornball on his delivery.
What do you do in your off hours?
I think that's a question for another time.
I also love Clancy Brown's Lex Luthor as Kal-El's antithesis. He's right up there with Michael Rosenbaum among my favorite versions of the character. While the show was as bright and colorful as it needed to be, it got darker as it went along, with episodes like Apocalypse Now, Brave New Metropolis, and Legacy, which are some of my personal favorites, covered in a top 5 video we did a few years back.
Savor your moment of triumph, Superman. But remember, victory has its price.
True, there's like 5 intense moments that almost match the intensity of the robot scene from Superman 3. Look at the comments, man. I'm not This show hasn't quite endured as much as Justice League or BTAS, but it should not be forgotten. This was a solid interpretation of the Man of Tomorrow that featured some great character work, strong stories, and surprising yet earned.
Oh
darker
yeah, I
moments.
remember that. The
Its
fight with
impact
Mixus
on the world of
Pidlick.
Superman is important, and if you've never seen it, I suggest giving it a shot for a faithful and layered incarnation of the Big Blue Boy Scout.
Alright.
Yes, but nobody ever thinks about if Superman was a worm.
What?
I do. Yeah, how is he? He's okay.
What?
Sums up my review.
Oh, Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm
Okay.
Jim is one of the most unique game franchises ever, with its surreal humor, imaginative visuals, get out of here, and enjoyable gameplay.
Hold on.
It's hard
Okay.
to find enough. Earthworm Jim is one of the most unique game franchises ever, with its surreal humor, imaginative.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I thought someone was making a loud thud upstairs.
Visuals, get out of here, and enjoyable gameplay.
Yeah.
It's hard to find another series like it. So, when they made a cartoon series on it in 1995, everyone had the same reaction. It's good. I feel bad saying that because it gives the impression it's not worth checking out, but it is. Just don't expect something as batshit insane as the game. But, you know,
Okay.
still a little insane.
Ugh.
The very loose stories.
Just look at. Ugh. That's a face that has seen things I don't think any human should have ever seen. Good lord, it looks like somebody inflated his eyelids. Good frickin' gosh.
The very loose story centers around the space traveler Earthworm Jim and puppy sidekick Peter, trying to defend the galaxy against all sorts of strange baddies. That's about all there is to it, and honestly, sometimes it doesn't even follow all the way through with that. Kind of like Freakazoid, they focus more on just throwing strange jokes at you, but the jokes are pretty funny and memorable.
Okay.
I'll solve this problem with my 4 hyper-intelligent brains. I'm hungry. I'm cold. I'm itchy. Where are the girls?
Well, I wish Jim had more of a southern voice like they hinted he had in the game. Dan Castellaneta does a fine job playing him as an Adam West type with the voice of Genie having just eaten Homer Simpson.
Quick, little buddy, whip me! Whip me!
What?
Pardon? Use me like a whip! Oh, right!
The dark edge and over-the-top animations replaced with brighter imagery and a more restrained style, but the out-of-nowhere tone shifts and story abandonments just to do something silly does make it unpredictable. I just have to respect the kid show that quotes Dune whenever it can.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total oblivion.
I respect quotes from Frank Herbert's other works.
Like what?
Star Wars.
What?
If you're looking for something that's not 100% Earthworm Jim, but say 60% Earthworm Jim, then check the show out. Because it's better to have 60% Earthworm Jim as opposed to 3% Earthworm Jim. Yeah, sorry, I really hate this game.
Relatable, yes. I've never played Earthworm Jim, so I wouldn't know.
Have nothing to do with our
So it's not relatable to me. Ah, Pokemon. Are you gonna tear this one a new butthole again?
Still not a fan?
No, it's fine. Y'all just talk about it while I watch the South Park episode making fun of it.
Boomer.
Chip Pokemon.
Literally not.
Do it.
Pokemon Mania.
Should be Pokemania.
I thought you were watching South Park.
I thought you shut up.
Swept the world in the late
Jeez.
90s and early 2000s. It has continued to be a cultural phenomenon for decades after its initial release.
Right.
Premiering in February 1999, it follows the journey of young Pokemon trainer Ash Ketchum, who leaves his home to be the very best, like no one ever was.
Right.
Bow, 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 to catch them is my real test. To train them is my
call.
South Park got one of them shoe. Ha ha.
Ash wants to be a Pokemon master. Pokemon are pocket monsters, creatures that can be caught and trained in battles to evolve and become stronger.
Right.
In order to
They
be
have
a
unique
Pokemon
abilities
master,
too.
Ash must first defeat gym leaders to earn their badges in order to compete in the Pokemon League tournament.
Right.
Every trainer begins their journey with a starter Pokemon. Ash's choice was the adorable and iconic Pikachu.
Right.
Add to the mix Ash's friends Brock
and
Misty,
Misty.
and the flamboyant Jesse and James of Team Rocket to make a memorable cast of characters.
Yeah.
The show
They've been
was
around
originally
forever.
4Kids production, which infamously changed many cultural references and made some bizarre editing choices. I mean, who could ever forget those jelly donuts?
Yeah.
Have a donut. That always cheers me up.
These donuts are great. Jelly-filled are my favorite.
Exactly.
However, it did give us one of the greatest theme songs ever, so pros and cons.
Yep. Yeah. I don't want to be copyrighted by it.
He said small penis. These writers are so young and hip.
Pokemon
What?
Pokemon was extremely successful, hitting millions of viewers every week. It was the perfect combination of cute monsters, collection, and adventure that kids were looking for. Pokemon extended far beyond the show. However, the anime was often kids' first exposure to the franchise. It was for me.
Interesting.
Once the anime sunk its teeth into you, it was a fast descent into Poke madness. I collected the toys, the cards, the games, the VHSs. I had to catch them all.
Yeah.
I even joined the Toys R Us Pokemon Trading Card Game League.
You need medicine.
I think I remember. That's a funny face for. I think the first game I played, Pokemon-wise, was, I believe, the Johto series. I think that was my favorite. It was Pokemon Johto that got me into it, because I think initially I was born in 1999, so I wasn't able to exactly watch and retain the first series. But again, yeah, like I've loved Pokemon since I was a kid, and quite literally, it grew up alongside me because it was made the same year I was made, or I was born specifically. But point made.
This is my medicine!
Yeah.
I'm still playing the games and introducing my love of Pokemon to the next generation of kids. Pokemon left an indelible mark on our culture and in our hearts.
Yeah.
And just like how Ash can never really die, what was it, like 7 times he got killed off? Pokemon will continue to win
Not
all,
really.
well, most of us over.
Yeah.
Okay, you can come back now.
Hey, you know what's like Pokemon, but like so much cooler, like so much better. It's such a better show.
What?
Such a better cartoon. Oh my god, it's like you guys gonna be blown away. It's
Just say it.
Men in Black.
Men in Black?
Because like the aliens are like Pokemon, but they're cooler and better. And it's like
I mean,
Pokemon, like,
kind of. Alright, show us.
I don't know about you, but after I saw the movie Men in Black, pretty much all my friends were asking, so when do you think there's gonna be a cartoon show? A lot of people said Men in Black was the Ghostbusters of its time, and that had an amazing cartoon, so I figured a series for this would make sense. However, Ghostbusters was a surreal one-of-a-kind movie, which led to a surreal one-of-a-kind series. Men in Black was a smart and clever comedy, which led to, you guessed it, a smart and clever show.
Yeah.
It didn't really push the boundaries in terms of animation or intense imagery, unless walking weird in the intro counts. But it was pretty well written and represented the source material perfectly. It follows the adventures of Jay and Kay as they track down the scum of the universe, working in its trademark odd but also cool humor. The best part is it expanded on ideas that the movies abandoned. Like Agent L doesn't decide to go back to the morgue, she stays on as a permanent character. It's pretty cool. Her job includes slicing up aliens to examine their insides like she did when she was a mortician. Also, I found out she was voiced by Cass from Voyager. That's just neat.
This is Jay's brain. This is Jay's brain running at 78.9% capacity. Jay's head becomes Mount St. Helens.
They even go into more character backstory.
Damn.
Remember that brief moment in the film when you see Kay handing an alien flowers? There's a whole episode dedicated to that.
Oh,
It's one of
really?
the most gripping stories.
D just disappeared from the picture.
Who's D?
Your original partner.
You're the only partner I've ever had.
It's nice it
Oh.
didn't just go 100% for the jokes.
Yeah,
The film
erasing
did have its
memories.
dramatic moments too. It's not a series I can say did anything that new or unique, but it captured the voice of the original pretty great. Better than the
Okay.
second one even.
Or the fourth one.
Damn it, Malcolm! Stop reminding me that exists.
Don't worry, you won't remember.
Remember what?
I don't remember.
If you're looking for a
Flash
series that
done.
continues the adventures of Division 6 in a not spectacular but entertaining enough way, this just might be worth your time.
Man, it seems really cool design-wise. Kind of reminds me of the Ben 10 show.
X-Men Evolution.
You don't want to watch it?
I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it, and I didn't have a transition.
Fair enough. Alright, X-Men Evolution.
Teenagers, high school, cool goth rogue, X-Men Evolution rules. The show takes place while many of the mutants are in high school. Not a mutant high school, just a normal high school. It allows for some great high school drama, some stupid fun romances, and eventually led to some awesome growth from many of our characters.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I saw this show at the perfect time or if it really was flawless, but it left an impact. Also, Nightcrawler is so great in this version.
Oh, you mean fun and lovable and not... I can't even think of a word to describe him. He left so little an impact.
Yeah.
Blue?
No, even that doesn't feel right.
Let's just say nothing, because
He might
that's
be
what
the
it
best
was.
he's
Nothing.
ever been represented in any of the series. Everyone stands out and feels authentic despite taking liberties from
Holy
the source
crap,
material.
that guy is big.
Also, the orange and black Wolverine suit is so slick.
It is pretty cool.
Juggernaut, forgive me for trying.
This is the most early 2000s show that you could ever watch. It should be put in a time capsule to show people in 1,000 years what this time period was like.
Oh, come on, it's not that.
Yeah.
LimeWire guest starring on the OC isn't as 2000s as that.
Yep.
I loved this show so much as a kid. I always wanted to be Rogue from the comics, but this goth Rogue took that want and made it a need. We also got that great Kitty Pryde Rogue dance gift from this show, so cheers to that, honestly.
Please, Josh Hartnett is going to join Destiny's Child if there's any more 2000s.
He took what was an already amazing comic book adaptation and gave it a whole new spin. It's early 2000s, yes, but it also has stories and characters you can still relate to today. No matter what time period you grew up in, as long as you grew up, you'd find something relatable in X-Men Evolution.
Okay. Maybe I should give this a rewatch.
2000 stuff. I'm a history man myself.
No, you're not.
The history of 1998.
That's random. Also, no, you're not.
98 was only 2 years before the early 2000s.
That makes it even less history.
When this show made literal history. Yeah, Tamara. That's how you do a segue.
Damn it, you're right.
Hysteria.
Hysteria was another Tom Ruegger produced show. It was trying to be a sketch comedy series like what SNL is, but used to educate kids about history. Think if all the educational songs in Animaniacs had their own show. Once again, this was done to meet FCC requirements for shows to be educational, and to its
Interesting.
credit, it is a noble attempt. There are a lot of great songs and clever ways they teach kids history. My personal favorite being a tour guide named Misinformation, who, you guessed it, always gets her facts wrong. It had a good energy and good animation, but the problem was it didn't really have solid characters. Father Time was the host, who was just sort of a generic nice guy who sometimes lost his temper. There's a big fat baby, literally called Big Fat Baby, who, you guessed it, is just a gross big fat baby. And then there's the kid chorus, who usually just had one joke about each of them. The worst one being Loud Kiddington. Can you guess what his shtick is?
Being loud.
The War of 1812! Modius! Imbulus! Maius! Junius!
How dare he steal your thing?
Damn!
Not to admire a show trying to teach something in a creative way, but with shows like Animaniacs or even Carmen Sandiego, the facts were taught better because they wrote for the characters first. They gave us stories and people we like to watch even if they weren't teaching us anything.
Okay.
I don't think I would be checking in on these characters anytime soon.
Sextoys! September! October!
Oh, man.
I will admit, though, I think this is made for a much younger audience, and if I was a little kid, I'd probably get into all the funny voices and screaming.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry I can throw up twice.
It wasn't
What?
for me, but it was a noble attempt at a noble cause.
Honestly, sounds like a solid show. I always
Wait,
love
Tom Ruegger
shows
also
like
worked on
that.
Batman? Yeah. See, that's how you segue, Tim.
They're never gonna let you live it down, Tim.
Wait, he didn't work on Superman, though. Neither did you. My life is over.
Damn! Oh no! It's just out of nowhere. Boom! Head off.
The new Batman Superman Adventures was sometimes an hour, sometimes an hour and a half long programming block that started to
Alright.
air in 1997. They would schedule a combination of a Superman the Animated Series rerun, Batman the Animated Series rerun, and a fresher episode of either the new Batman Adventures or the third season of Superman. It's a bit complicated since this isn't actually the name of a separate series and the branding was used for Emmy nominations that pertain to both shows.
I
The blog
see.
did have its own unique intro that presented clips from each program merged with some original animation and a brand new theme from Shirley Walker. It's pretty good too.
It is pretty good, but I don't want to be copyrighted for it.
Bumpers, commercials, and even the end credits were specially made for this packaged time slot. The crossover episodes between Superman and Batman are more associated with this title, so let's quickly mention them. The only Batman episode that a Superman character showed up on was Girls' Night Out, where Supergirl teamed up with Batgirl to take down the consolidated threat of Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy,
and Livewire.
I just reviewed it for Batmay, so check that out for more info. On the Superman series, Nighttime saw the Man of Steel disguise himself as the Dark Knight and team up with Robin after Bruce goes missing. A bunch of the kids...
Now that would be a funny, like, prank to pull on Joker. Like, he just does something like, try to, like, stab him, just like, ew, I didn't know you had... And Superman just, like, surprise. That's funny. The idea of Superman being in Batman's costume just to trick one of the characters.
Crusaders villains get to make appearances, and we get to see Superman beat up Bane under Batman's cowl. It's a great moment.
Oh.
The best example of these crossovers is, of course, the world's finest three-parter that introduced Batman to Kal-El and saw Lex Luthor join forces with the Joker. A lot of people know it mainly under its home video release name, the Batman-Superman movie, but they are officially episodes of Superman TAS.
Oh, really?
It's some of the strongest stuff to come out of either show, and you should go out of your way to see it if you never have. Regardless of the somewhat confusing nature concerning this title, these two characters united for some notable adventures that will continue on for years to come. Ah, good times.
Yeah,
well,
maybe we'll need to.
It's time to take us
I'll
out of
definitely
the past
take a look
and
at that
into more
then.
Modern times with Static Shock.
Static Shock.
What year do you think it is, Malcolm?
Hey, well, what's this? Right, Static Shock.
Static Shock was a gemstone among my favorite childhood cartoons. Created by the late Dwayne McDuffie with Dennis Cohen, it was the first original story with a black superhero as its protagonist to get its own animated series. Only took until 2000.
Hey, for white people, that's very fast for us.
This show was poignant in not only setting trends for BIPOC and POC representation in comic media, but it was among the first to take a more grounded, slice-of-life tone to contrast its superhero story. Voiced by one of my biggest inspirations, Phil Lamar.
Maybe we should put you on payroll, Static. Give me one of those shiny helmets and we'll call it even.
Virgil Hawkins is a high school teen who develops electromagnetic powers after his town suffers from the effects of fallout from a nearby chemical plant explosion called the Big Bang. In addition to the usual superhero tropes and learning
I see. So I'm guessing other people were fused with the two, like that guy fused with fire.
Virgil takes on issues more focused around himself as a middle-class black teen in an urban environment. We get to see unique circumstances addressed, with the issues tackled from a more black perspective. We see topics in bigotry, neurodivergence, gang activity, police racial profiling, and more.
What your son heard, Hawkins. I wasn't talking about him.
No, you were talking about his kind, that's all. Well, I know your kind, Foley. Fine, upstanding bigot. The world changes and grows, and he's blind to it. Ignorant. And proud of that, too. Richie ran away from you a long time ago, Foley. And because of the way you are, you'll never really know him.
It's all woven together so well with its action and storytelling. I'd argue it set the trend for many comic properties hereafter. Yielding crossovers with Batman and the Justice League, Static cemented himself in the superhero zeitgeist. Let's hope we can continue to see more of Static Shock in the near future.
Someone say my name?
He seems like a cool guy. I gotta watch it.
Well, seeing how we're back in the 2000s, let's talk about another show that came out around that time, Jackie Chan Adventures.
Wait, isn't that like the only one of these shows that Ayana's seen?
Oh, that's a good point.
Jackie Chan Adventures. I'm trying to remember.
It just so happens that I have a letter from her.
Oh, do tell.
Oh.
Greetings. You may remember I gave my thoughts on Jackie Chan Adventures, the greatest show ever made, in our Toonami review. I honestly got everything out about it that I needed to say, so I have included...
Of course they had to Photoshop her face on Peach. I was wondering why this looks familiar for a second.
Edited video of those thoughts with clips from the show.
That's funny.
Oh, that was nice of her.
Yeah, let's see what she put together.
Jackie Chan Adventures! Okay, so,
Alright.
Jackie Chan is this archaeologist, right? And he has to travel around the world and find these talismans. There's 12 of them, and they're
Okay.
based off of the zodiac signs, and then he's trying to get them away and out of the hands of the evil people. They're called the Dark Hand. They're evil. They're working for this demon. His name is Shendu. He's the worst, and he's also trapped in a dragon statue because his regular form is a dragon, and he wants to get back to his regular form. Jackie Chan has to fight all of these bad guys. There's Easter eggs of his entire career throughout the show. It's incredible. After each each episode, there's these children that write in and get to ask Jackie Chan questions, and then he answers
Oh.
them. It's amazing.
That actually is really cool. And it was really fast-paced and pretty epic.
Videos were that cool. I want to be Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah.
Like explosions and stuff.
Heather, does your next one have explosions and stuff?
No.
Well, what do you have?
Shame!
Hey, you guys didn't have anything better. You can't shame her.
A la poème in terrible French accent. Can you feel the sizzle? The summer is
Okay.
heating.
I have to... Look, if it's okay, I'm just gonna skip the ad. Okay, back up a little.
80% off your next order.
Right, that's good
Subject to
enough.
Change, terms apply. French poetry time is over. Go and apologize to a French person somewhere. I don't know. DoorDash!
I didn't do anything wrong.
Doug plays Jedi Survivor every
Okay,
Friday
I
on
thought
Twitch.
I thought I skipped all the
Content
stuff.
5 days a week. Hope to see you there.
All right, it's all right. Ooh, card captors. I think I remember this.
Trying to chase the high of Pokemon, Kids WB added the anime card captors to their lineup in June of 2000. Card captors combined the monsters of Pokemon with the magical girl essence of Sailor Moon. A girl named Sakura
it's certainly a
accidentally
vibe I'm getting
releases
from this.
magical cards called Cloud Cards into the world. The guardian of the cards, Kiro, is also released. He reveals that only someone with magical powers could open the book, which means Sakura has magic. She now must battle the personifications of the cards to seal them all back away into the book. The version of the show that was aired on Kids WB was...
Let me guess. Heavily edited?
No, they leave it alone.
Really?
Really?
Yes, they even have a class at the Home for Infinite Losers.
Okay, keep going, smart.
In this instance, though, it wasn't as much a censorship issue. The original series was 70 episodes. The Kids WB edit was only
Alright.
39 episodes.
Oh.
Episodes were rearranged and key plot points were omitted. That still didn't stop me, personally, from absolutely loving it. I loved this series so much. I spent a summer at 12 years old fan-dubbing the movie with my best friend.
Really?
She was Japanese, so she had a Japanese copy of the movie,
Oh.
translated a whole script, and we dubbed it together.
That's actually really cool.
And where is this embarrassing media we can blackmail you?
Unfortunately, it's been lost to time. I truly wish I could share it with you all. Now all I have are my cloud cards to remember the great times I had with Sakura and her friends. Still, this show gave me great memories, great animation, and great characters I won't be forgetting for a long time.
Dang, I must have really missed out then on a lot of this stuff. Because this actually looks... Oh! Damn!
Now that's how you do a segue.
I mean, progress. That was a little bit better, but... Ah, what's the Scooby-Doo? I didn't have to do... Love that theme.
Gang brings us What's New Scooby-Doo, a modernized version of the Mystery Inc. with slightly updated everything. The slang, tech, outfits, music, everything was updated from when Scooby-Doo Where Are You first aired in
Yeah,
1960.
I remember this show. I loved it.
Performed by Simple Plan, dare I say, slaps.
It absolute slap. Gonna solve that mystery. Love that song.
Right, Amanda?
The series premiered in 2002 and ran for 3 seasons before ending in 2006, and overall is an incredibly well.
Oh yeah, the Phantosaurus. I remember that.
Scooby-Doo is one of the cornerstone dogs of our childhood, along
Yeah.
with Crypto, the super dog, and Airbud, obviously. Despite what some anti-canine
I knew she was gonna bring that back.
Scare of you this episode. Lasagna!
follow-up was not
I don't
as
think
full of
Doug is
brutal
okay.
life
You need to get him to a hospital.
It kept Scoob and the gang on the map and known by a younger audience. While some of the later Scooby-Doo iterations were less than stellar,
Ugh.
this was a creative, true-to-form blast of a show. Also, anything that gives us the Hex Girls is a good thing.
Oh,
Hex Girls
yeah.
forever.
I forgot that they brought them back from that. Oh, they have a cover of the song?
But who are they getting married to?
Mystery.
That weirdly checks out.
Fair enough.
So, Tamara, now that you're so good at segues, could you maybe come up with one for Batman Beyond?
Yeah, just say you're doing Batman Beyond.
Oh, that works.
Okay, apparently we're gonna listen to the so-called expert for that. Oh. Doug is gonna die at the end of this if she keeps doing that.
The first 2 episodes of Batman Beyond, known as Batman of the Future outside the US,
Right.
established a concept that became one of the strongest, most unique ideas this creative team ever conceived.
Mhm.
It's crazy how this show was basically a mandate from the network that Bruce Timm and company had to pitch on the spot. For a short time period, they were finishing up
Yeah.
Superman the Animated Series and the new Batman adventures, all while simultaneously rushing to get Batman Beyond off the ground for a 1999 premiere. Set decades
Dang.
in the future, the show followed a teenager named Terry McGinnis who discovers the secret of a now elderly Bruce Wayne and becomes the new Batman in a Gotham that looks very different.
Very
A couple of
modernized.
decades before the main time period, Bruce retires after being forced to use a gun to threaten a criminal when his body fails him. It's
Oh.
an epic and heartbreaking start to possibly the late great Kevin Conroy's most impressive performance as Bruce Wayne. He believably sounded like a jaded old man who had more than his fair share of regrets. This evolution of the character is one of my personal favorites because it places him at a point in his life he probably never thought he'd reach.
Yeah.
His relationship with Terry is a dynamic that's just as strong as with any of his sidekicks, but takes on a completely new connotation. As the series progressed across its 54 episodes, new characters and distinct villains pushed the overall legacy of Batman forward.
Right,
Most of
the
the
Joker
creative
descendant.
decisions were excellent additions, considering we were seeing the bookend to a continuity with so much history behind it. Now, not everything worked. The romantic relationship between Bruce and Barbara has aged like cheese, but pretty much everything else has held up exceedingly well. Comics, the Batman 75th anniversary short, and a phenomenal animated movie have done a lot to display
Yeah.
this show's staying power. There have been rumblings of a live-action adaptation as far back as the early 2000s, and as recently as last year, with Michael Keaton coming back to reprise Bruce. A new animated film has even been rumored. Time will tell if any of that really happens, but the fact remains, Batman Beyond is a once-and-future classic. Plus, it stars Will Friedle. How could it not be good?
You know, it's amazing. In one short day, I managed to earn the socially challenged rep that took me a lifetime to...
Just a repetition of that animation. Very classic old-fashioned animation when they repeat some of the animation to keep the person talking.
cultivate back home.
Yeah, but this one was a good show. I remember
Love
that.
that show. Have you ever thought about doing it?
One of my favorite episodes, I forget what specifically it was, but it was one episode where Dee Dee, the twins, like the twins that are supposed to be Harley Quinn, essentially, but it's twin characters, so their names are Dee Dee. And then there's like an old lady that is their puts them on parole, and it's Harley, but as like an elderly woman, which is really funny. Because she's like, I hope they throw the book at you. Oh, shut up, Nana Harley. It was really surprising when I saw it, but it made perfect sense.
It for Batman.
Wait, it could be called Bat May Beyond.
Ooh, and then after that, you can talk about the 2004 series.
Yeah, and I know you like Brave and the Bold. You should do that one too.
Beware the Batman is strange. Talk about it, Walter.
No, but serious, Bat May
The cat. Oh no, he's gonna go mad. Exactly.
Ozzy and Drix was a show.
Ah,
Based on the box office.
Osmosis
Lost,
Jones.
Ozzy and Drix continues the stories of Osmosis Jones and Drix.
Yeah, I remember
or
this.
this time in the body of a boy named Hector, rather than a dying Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Do you mean comedically or physically?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll admit, this show always kind of creeped me out because of how it, like, I don't know, stuff that, like, always tried to, like, represent in the human body always just kind of grossed me out. I mean, that's kind of, like, this tried to make it in a fun, sort of entertaining way, but it never really worked out for me. Plus, again, one thing about this show is that this kid, almost every episode, goes to the bloody hospital. What kind of medical insurance does his family have that he's allowed to do that? Like, no, seriously, like, I'm pretty sure every episode he goes to the hospital, and I look back at that and I think, like, what kind of medical insurance do they have? Like, they must be really flippin' rich or just know the right kinds of people. Anyways.
For a show coming off of a major motion picture bomb, I have to admit, this series is much better than it has any right to be. okay, it's not great, but the voice actors capture the charm of the original actors.
Knife flashing before eyes. Sorry, man, can't help it. Gotta go, 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 go.
The budget for this type of show seems put to good use, and it actually does teach you a little bit about the human body.
Yeah.
I think two big advantages the show had was, one, getting rid of the live action segments with Murray.
Yeah.
Which still feels weird to say. Them angels and elephants really threw him off course. And two, it got legendary producer Alan Burnett on board. Yes, that Alan Burnett. About as much effort as you can put into an idea like this
I didn't
was
know that.
appropriately applied. And they really did make this world interesting in a unique way that evolved the creativity of the original. I don't know. I really thought I was gonna hate this, and I thought it was alright. I guess that's not a glowing recommendation, but if you've seen some of the worst moments in the movie, you know it's still pretty damn impressive.
Yeah. I'll say overall this show was okay, but most of the time it creeped me out.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Alright. Right. This was the one show that...
In 2001, Kids WB continued to cash in on the Pokemon craze with an anime called Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right.
Spelled with an exclamation point. That's very important.
Mhm.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Centered around
So
a
it's
boy
Yu-Gi-Oh!
named Yugi who plays an in-universe card game called Duel Monsters.
Right.
Duel Monsters, to simplify, is kind of like Magic the Gathering and the Pokemon trading card game combined.
So the worst of both worlds.
You can go to hell!
Okay,
Straight to hell!
There.
Yugi also owns a special
Clashes of
artifact called the
opinions,
Millennium
people.
Puzzle, which he solved. The puzzle contains the spirit of an old Egyptian pharaoh that becomes Yugi's alter ego. After defeating the best duel monster player in the world, Seto Kaiba, Yugi goes on a quest to solve the mystery behind the Millennium Puzzle and the power it holds.
I see.
On the way, he encounters other Millennium items and of course plays a ton of duel monsters. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was almost presented as a more grown-up Pokemon. The card game felt more complicated. It felt more action-packed with higher stakes and a darker tone. This anime was also licensed by 4Kids and similar to Pokemon underwent some heavy editing. As a kid, the editing here was more evident, with invisible guns and talk of sending people to the Shadow Realm instead of death threats. Even though many people did compare it to Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a unique
That
style
explains where that
and
meme
concept.
came from.
The anime, of course, had a card game that I obviously played too. I was drawn to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it felt deeper and more complex than any of the other monster animes I had enjoyed before,
Yeah.
such as Pokemon, Monster Rancher, and even Digimon. It didn't hurt either that I had a huge crush on Seto Kaiba. Broody anime boys were my type in middle school.
Oh god, he is dreaming.
The series may
Oh,
not have
Doug's
left
starting to have a change of heart, maybe.
Pokemon, but it was endearing and entertaining to many who felt they were starting to outgrow Pokemon. And though not as big, it still has a massive following all these years later. And for good reason.
It seemed like it. I'll admit, I ultimately never got into it, but honestly, it never not piqued my interest, though. I just never ended up watching it, and I need to start watching it. A lot of good stuff in here.
Oh, it's cool. The next one's Baby Looney Tunes, and clearly none of us have watched that.
I've watched it a couple times. Baby Looney Tunes.
You know what? Don't judge me.
We are.
But don't.
I'm afraid that's impossible.
Okay, hear me out. Baby Looney Tunes asks the brave question, hey, what if the Looney Tunes were babies?
You know, I can stick my fist up all your asses and use you as puppets.
Good lord.
The premise is so simple and sounds so boring, but there was something outrageously fun about this show.
What was it?
Babies live with Granny in her mansion, wow, lucky, and spend their days playing and pretending. Also, it's Looney Tunes, so there are pie throws and physical comedy. Baby Looney Tunes focused on real-world problems that children could relate to, such as sharing and understanding emotions and playing with others. Okay, they're very simple, but they're taught in the most adorable way. It's impossible not to get involved in their tiny little stories.
I guess.
Lasting for 4 seasons and even getting a movie, Baby Looney Tunes was a somewhat formulaic show that made it easy to watch, always had a lesson to learn, and had better writing than it probably had any right to.
Okay.
Though on the list of theme songs, this one is dead last.
It's a loonyful day
Yeah.
to have a little fun the Baby Looney Tunes way.
I don't know, Tamara. I think your brain's coming in dead last. Yeah, what's next? The show about baby Damon Wayans?
Buddy. Uh-oh. Yep.
Okay, going back a little bit to 1996, Wanehead was another short-lived animated original on the Kids WB lineup. The story is a retelling of
Why does he
Damon
have,
Wayans'
like,
childhood
elf
in the Chelsea
ears?
neighborhood of the New York City borough of Manhattan. It features the voices of the Wayans brothers, John Witherspoon, Gary Coleman, Frank Welker, and then rising child star Orlando Brown as the lead, Damie Wayne.
Alright.
Despite a recognized and respected cast, the show saw low ratings.
Holy crap. Look at how long that hat is. Buddy, if he turned his head, he could whip somebody with it. Just like, holy crap.
And ended prematurely. Each episode featured the comedic spirits of the Wayans family, but with the TV-wide rating, their talents were severely undercut. And looking at the credited writers on the show, it looks like the Wayans were more so referenced rather than doing any writing themselves. And it shows, unfortunately. I wanted to like this show more. Even my parents were excited for when this show came out, but it couldn't hold my attention or anyone else's, sadly. It'd be nice to have this project re-envisioned with Damon Wayans more involved in the show's writing, but as it stands, it'll be remembered as that one Wayans Bros cartoon. The idea was kind of cool, but the execution, not so much.
Speaking of Batman Beyond,
we in no way were.
Quiet. Brilliant segue comes. Let's take a look at another spin-off.
Uh-oh. Take cover! She ain't for Doug again. Tamara, you've got issues. But she doesn't care. Look at her face. Yeah, hold on to that toga piece. She might come for it next. Zeta.
It's the DCAU show that nobody remembers, the Zeta Project. Spinning off of the Season 2 Batman
I kind of
Beyond
remember
episode
this.
Zeta, this series followed a tactical synthoid built for the National Security Agency to impersonate enemies of the state and kill them for gaining information. Eventually, Infiltration Unit Zeta grows a conscience and refuses to carry out his ordered executions. Thus, he becomes a fugitive and goes on the run, picking up a young friend named Ro along the way. Together, they try to find Zeta's original creator in hopes of uncovering the answers to his growing sense of morality and prove his innocence to the NSA, who thinks terrorists have reprogrammed him to be a danger to the populace. DCAU writer Robert Goodman pitched the show.
Honestly, that's a really good premise. That's a really good show premise, I think. It's a shame I didn't watch it.
WB as a version of the 1960s TV series The Fugitive with a runaway robot. He was at first hoping to make it even darker than Batman Beyond and explore deeper themes.
Oh, right.
While
He
the
said he could
network ordered
shapeshift.
the series, they saw it as a way of drawing a younger demographic. Problem was, catering just to 6 to 11-year-olds was not what Goodman wanted for his show. This led to clashes between the showrunner and the network that eventually led to the series ending after 2 seasons. The final episode finished off on an unresolved cliffhanger, but in the decade since, Goodman has tried getting a new version of the series off the ground, with the latest attempt coming in the form of a potential live-action drama. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even know the Zeta Project existed until well after Kids WB was dead and gone. I knew that Zeta came back to Batman Beyond in Season 3's Countdown with a new look
Oh, really?
and Ro at his side, but I had no idea that he had his own show. So I did some background research in addition to watching a few installments. From what I saw, the series wasn't bad. I could see what the show wanted to be peeking through the network's mandatorily bright surface. I was always planning on watching it to complete my DCAU viewing experience, but now I'm not as worried about being bored the entire time.
Again, this has a really good show premise. I like it. If they do bring this back in a more modern setting, I'd love to see it. Though, I don't know if that's the best idea, considering how remakes go.
Don't get me wrong, the animation and music aren't very good. A clear downgrade from most shows in the same universe. But there is a charm that's apparent in the little I saw. We'll call this a pleasant surprise. I definitely want to hear if any of you remember watching this show when it aired. What did you think of it back then? As for the here and now, the Zeta Project will likely continue to remain in general obscurity.
Which is kind of a shame.
Speaking of good hero stories, let's talk about the Batman.
We've already talked about him countless times, though.
Maybe Batman, or Batman's dog or something?
Those stories will be told at a different time. In this review.
So just the Batman.
The Batman is an underrated, hopeful version of the Dark Knight with a unique style of his own. Being the first animated Batman story after Batman animated series universe, this show had big bat boots to fill. It follows the story of Batman as we know him and follows canon character arcs and things like that, but it also does a great job of building lore unique to itself. This version of Bruce Wayne comes to us only a few years into being the Batman. He has a more hopeful outlook and wants to have a life outside of being the Batman. He meets villains for the first time, and by the end of the show's 5 seasons, his character arc has led him closer to his gruff older self. The villains in this show especially shine. Mr. Freeze is so cool with his eyes.
That is a cool design for him.
Head. Maybe my favorite iteration of the Riddler. Clayface? Incredibly told story that I haven't seen in years and I remember so vividly to this day. Hot take, but maybe one of the best Jokers ever. Kevin Michael Richardson.
Certainly has a creep factor to him.
His Joker's so scary, so yucky. The huge orange teeth, the green wild hair, the scary huge red eyes. He's such an interesting and uncomfortable character to look at, and it's awesome.
Definitely credit on unique design.
Your sense of humor. Yet we're linked, you and I, like comedy and tragedy. 2 sides, same coin.
Also, I will be cosplaying this version of Catwoman one day. I will.
Is she the owl guy from Watchmen now?
She is everything.
I was gonna say it looks more like a bat head than like Catty or just. If anything, she looks more like a bat than he does.
No, really, what did we do to you?
Yeah, Tamara, what's on with you today?
This is one of the most underappreciated. It needs more love, more discussion, and more time in the bat spotlight.
I've seen clips of this, I think, because I remember that Joker design, so this is where that one comes from.
The Looney Tunes will pick up where this dark, edgy story left off.
Right?
I wish I wasn't.
Oh. Ah, lunatics.
Released in 2005, Lunatics Unleashed is a futuristic action series set in a post-apocalyptic world.
Isn't that the Roadrunner?
Are the main characters. You see, a meteorite hits the city of Acmetropolis.
A meteor strikes the city planet of Acmetropolis.
I gotta give the narrator credit. I wouldn't be able to say that name without laughing. And admit it, you can't hear it without laughing. And it gives our team protagonists, because of course they're teens, superpowers. Their leader, Sadavia, even as made-up names go, doesn't that sound like the most made-up name?
Yeah.
Summons them to stop all the forces of evil. From
That's supposed to be Bugs Bunny?
Of course, making
Well,
a
that's
few
Daffy.
singers here and there. People hated this show even before it came out. Their reveal got petitions going. Apparently the VP of Creative Affairs always pointed to them as what not to do when designing characters.
Yeah.
We'll say.
I love in the modern Animaniacs when like they bring every other cartoon, like Robot Monsters, Tiny Toons, Sylvester's Talking Car, and then they show these guys. He goes, whatever these guys are. It's really funny.
As bad as the show is, yeah, okay, I'll say it. It could have been worse.
Really?
Yes, this is a dead idea from the start, but the animation is nice. Some of the voice acting is enjoyable. The imagination, I mean, you have to be imaginative to come up with something this crazy.
Yeah.
It's not the worst, but I think it's pretty clear most Looney Tunes fans are not gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
You just can't get past the idea of it. It's like that new Warriors comic they were gonna release years ago. Even if it somehow got the best
It
writing
just
you've
doesn't
seen in a
make
while,
sense.
You're just not gonna be able to see past this concept.
Yeah.
There's worse out there, but that doesn't make it good.
It just doesn't make sense. Some ideas just don't work no matter what you
How
prepare it
about
with.
something that was meant to be funny?
Well, I think it was... I don't know what it was supposed to be. Yeah, funny would be nice.
Raids! Mucha Lucha! I remember this!
Mucha Lucha entered
pinball!
the
Ding, ding, ding.
WB on August 17th, 2002. The premise is pretty simple. It's about 3 friends, Ricochet,
Right.
Banana Girl, and the Flea, who are students at the foremost, world-renowned International School of Lucha!
Yeah.
This world uses Mandalorian rules, so no one takes their masks off.
Ah, Mandalorian logic.
People also highly value and hone their signature wrestling moves.
Right.
The show was fast-paced and funny.
Right.
With a
I remember one of my favorite things about it was that, like, when they did their wrestling move, they would shapeshift into the actual thing. Like the main guy Ricochet, he turned into a pinball. That was his move.
Style and laughs. By the time this show was premiering, I was in high school, but I was still drawn to watching it with my little brothers because it was so engaging. It also holds the honor of being one of the first broadcast animated television shows to be fully animated in Adobe Flash.
Whoa. Actually,
In Adobe Flash.
It totally shows, but it's still interesting.
Does that mean we can't watch it ever again because Adobe Flash was discontinued? Maybe.
Although it was considered a hit by the network, it was never quite as popular as it should have been. This gem holds a little masked place in my heart. It's a very strange but memorable step in.
Well, I'm glad you guys like this, because I like this show, from what I remember of it.
Okay, it looks like we have only one show left that one of us saw, and it's...
Oh boy, what is it? Crypto the Superdog. But I liked this one.
Crypto the Superdog, the superior follow-up to NFT the Cat, was released in 2006 and has the catchiest theme song ever made. I heard it once as a kid, and that's all it took. It has never left my brain. I am humming it to myself as I read this. If you know, you know.
I remember it a couple times. I liked this show.
Catchiest song? Really?
Are you sure they weren't just making it up as they go along?
That is something that an anti...
Yeah, very scary.
Tamra, we've heard it. Move on.
Crypto is a superdog and a good boy who traveled on an interstellar ship from Krypton. He lands on Earth and is adopted by Kevin Whitney, a 9-year-old boy and his family.
Right.
Superman knows that his dog is with the Whitneys, but says he's too busy to take care of him and lets Kevin hold on to him. Which is majorly effed up if you think about it. Really makes you think what kind of a dog owner Superman was.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, he couldn't show cryptocurrency? I know.
Dog, come on. Yeah. That one was deserved.
An ordinary dog while living with Kevin's family, but adopts the secret identity of Crypto the Superdog for his super dog stuff.
Right.
He has many other super animals.
Yeah, right. Bat dog. The hyenas.
Catwoman's pet cat.
Yep.
While the show only lasted for 2 seasons, it was a cute and easy watch. Now, I want a whole show talking about Hot Girl and her pet pigeons. But, until then, this is an adorable show to check out.
Yeah. I always liked this show, so...
In 2006, the WB network merged with UPN to create the CW. While Kids WB technically survived a little longer, it didn't make much sense to have something called Kids WB on a channel not even called WB.
Okay.
In 2008, Kids WB officially shut down. Even the frog took a bow when the writing was on the wall. It eventually became CW for Kids, which was later replaced by Toonzone, which was later replaced
Oh,
by
wait.
Vortex.
So, 4Kids. That's where Kirby Right Back At You came by.
In 2008, it was relaunched as an online network with 5 sub-channels.
Oh my
It
gosh.
just wasn't the
I
same.
remember that.
Kids WB was similar to other kids programming at the time, but it had a style and a feel that was all its own.
It allowed both old and new ideas to grow
Yeah.
and become something that would leave an impact on several generations.
Whether meant for younger kids, teens, and even some adults, it seemed like there was something valuable for everyone in this lineup.
People still look fondly on it years later and continue to talk about the shows and characters that'll continue to live on in people's imaginations.
Yep.
It was something we were all lucky to experience, and we thank all the artists and storytellers who worked their asses off to bring it to us. You all truly knew how to keep the party going.
Bringing it full circle.
I'm the Nostalgia Critic, I remit.
Yeah, everyone's tired. It's 6 a.m.
I'm sorry, we're really goddamn tired.
Well, yeah, you woke up at 6 a.m. I get it. The moment it came on.
We're still doing cameos for charity, and this month...
All right. That was actually really fun. I remember a lot of the shows that they had on there. And there's actually some of those that I did watch, but I didn't know were on WB Kids. I guess that's what, like, it's like that core memory opens and, like, you connect, like, what you know now to what you knew before. Yeah, I remember Mucha Lucha, and I really liked that show, as well as Crypto the Superdog. And I do remember a lot of those shows, like Baby Looney Tunes as well, which I think, if I remember, it was okay-ish. So, I mean, a lot of these shows, a lot of the superhero ones were really cool looking. And I kind of wish I watched some of them. I did watch Pokemon, so I'm glad I was right that Pokemon was on there, because I had a feeling it was. I was having one of those inside-out moments where, like, the core memory was really faded and I was trying to remember if it was real or not. Luckily, it hasn't failed me yet. So, yeah, but there were some shows there that I kind of wish I gave a chance, but just ultimately didn't. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sounded like a really cool one to give a chance to. As well as, oh my gosh, what were the other, like, Batman Beyond, I watched a little bit of, but never fully got into. Why, I will never know, but I will change that soon enough. Yeah. Overall, this was fun. I'm glad we got to take a trip down memory lane and some WB Kids. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this reaction. I really loved this. I want to let you know that starting on the 13th of this month, I'm going to be going to Florida on vacation for a week. So I probably won't be making any videos until then. So I'm going to try and get these 2 videos in. I'm going to get 1 episode of Mario plus Rabbids The Sparks of Hope Tower of Doom up, along with this. I'm going to see what I can do to see if I can record something. I do have a mobile computer I think I could use. I just need to figure out how to open it up again. Like, I've got locked out of it, so I gotta figure that out. But if I can, I'll try my best to make videos for you guys, because I like making videos for you guys. With that being said, I hope you guys like this video that I made. I hope you guys will like and subscribe. Make sure to support me on my Twitter. I have a Twitter now, so if you want to post me funny stuff, and I'll post funny stuff there, just let me know. That being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!